Dragon's Dogma 2 is full of secrets that you might not ever encounter. It's amazing how many things are hidden in the beginning parts of the game that are gonna unlock extremely powerful things for you. Today we're gonna be showing how to unlock an NPC in Back Batal that's going to have some of the most powerful items in the game, as well as a secret type of smithing to be able to enhance your gear. Now the items you're going to be getting from this NPC in Back Batal would typically have to be bought in the very end island of the game, the Volcanic Island. And unless you want to use one of your port crystals for this location, it is quite a bit of a run to be able to get there. So being able to unlock this special smithy in Back Batal is going to be very important. Now the smithy I'm talking about is Brokkr's smithy. Many of you have probably run over here your first time in Back Batal and possibly wondered why you can't access any of the shops. This is actually locked behind a side quest line that I never even encountered during my first playthrough. Now with this questline, we'll be able to unlock the shop where we're going to get a discount on some of the best weapons and armor in the game. We're also going to be unlocking the Dwarven smithing style, which increases the knockdown power of weapons and increases your armor's resistance to solid blows. So depending on your playstyle, this method of enhancement can be incredibly important. To be able to start this questline, you'll need to have completed the Coronation questline in Wyrmfire. Then you'll need to head up to the Noble's Quarter, up to the castle. Now as you run around in this area, one of the guards named Roman is going to approach you. You can encounter Roman in front of the castle here. You can also be roaming around just to the left as well. But just roam around the area and he will approach you. He's gonna ask you to follow him because he doesn't want to be around prying ears, and we're just gonna follow him to this left area in the garden where he's gonna continue the conversation. He's gonna provide you with the Regalia sword. Apparently he's a dirty little thief and he stole it from the Masquerade Hall. Now this provides you with the Dulled Regalia sword, and all the quest tells us is to find someone to repair the Dulled Regalia sword. Now if you have a pawn already that knows this quest, then they will kind of direct you on what you need to do. But if you're still in Wyrmfire, the first thing we can do is head to the Wyrmfire blacksmith where we can ask about the sword. Deliver him the Dulled Regalia sword, and he's going to tell you that he doesn't have the skills to be able to repair it, but we can talk to somebody in Back Batal. So now you're going to head to Back Batal, and we're going to head over to Brokkr's smithy, which now should be highlighted. Once you head inside, you're going to talk to the dwarf in the back. He's going to tell us that he's retired, but he is interested in the Regalia sword, so we're going to deliver it to him. Even though he's interested in the sword, he really doesn't want to come out of retirement. Now when we go to leave, his apprentice Sarah is going to initiate a conversation with us to essentially try and lure her master out of retirement. We need to let Brokkr leave, and we follow her into the dark corner. She's going to tell us about a special item called glimmercoal. So now we need to collect 15 or more pieces of glimmercoal, which thankfully aren't very far away. If you leave Back Batal, you're going to head south along this road, and there's going to be a cave here called the Digger's Ruins. Once you're inside the Digger's Ruins, you can turn off your lantern and you can see that a bunch of these items are glowing green in the darkness. Head over to these glowing green rocks and collect as many of them in that area as you can. If you go to the areas where they are glowing green, you're going to be able to collect items called glimmercoal. You'll also most likely collect something called glimmercoal with a Y. The ones with the Y we don't need, but the ones that are glowing green we do. So just wander around this cavern and collect 15 or more of these, and then head back to Sarah and turn them in. After you turn in the glimmercoal to Sarah, she's going to tell you that she needs a day, so you can either head to an inn and rest, or if you go to a bench and sit down, you can spam the doze off button and you can continuously pass time without having to spend any money at an inn. You're going to head back to Sarah, where she's going to tell you that she needs to learn something called blaze forging, and that she needs another day to understand it. So rest again and come back, and this time you'll have to talk to the dwarf Brokkr, who tells you that Sarah has gone missing. She has disappeared to the Volcanic Island to find somewhere hot to learn blaze forging, and it is now our job to go find her. To find Sarah, you're going to need to leave Back Batal, and you're going to head south along this route until you get to the area called Drabnir's Grotto. You're going to need to navigate your way through Drabnir's Grotto, then you're going to follow this road along this path until you get to the mountain base cave. You can continue to the Volcanic Island camp first if you want, and rest at an inn, because some of the monsters around this area are pretty strong. Regardless, you need to head to the mountain base cave. From here, you should get a new marker on the map, kind of directing you where to find Sarah within this cave. So you're going to continue going through this cave until you find Sarah at essentially a volcanic forge. Once you find her, she's going to tell you that she needs to rush out of this cave before the hammer cools down. So you need to escort her out of this cave as quick as you can until you get to the exit where the forge stuff was at the beginning of this cave area. At this point, you will complete this part of the quest, and you can head back to Back Batal. Although there are a few items in this cave that you might want to collect. There's a really cool two-handed weapon weapon for warriors, as well as a few other nice things, so you might want to explore this base cave a little bit to get some cool weapons. Once you go back to Back Batal, talk to Sarah again, and the Regalia sword will be complete. This is going to unlock the new shop and the new enhancements here, and thankfully since we did this quest line, we've also befriended Sarah, which means we get a discount at the shop. Now you can also head back to Vernworth with this sword, and you can go talk to Roman in the garden, who will be ecstatic that you completed this sword, and as a reward you will get 6,000 XP and 35,000 gold, which you can use at Sarah's shop to buy some upgrades. You will need to wait an in-game day before you can gain access to Sarah's shop, so sleep at an inn, but before you go buy anything from her, you're going to want to give her a gift. If you give her a bunch of flowers, it's one of her favorite items. This should make her fall deeper in love with you. You can tell because she gets these rosy cheeks, and now when you go to buy something, you have a 10% discount rather than a 5% discount. This is the maximum discount you can get from NPCs, so this is going to be considerably cheaper than buying any of the items from the volcanic island. Now for you, it might take more than one bunch of flowers, so you can rest a day, give her another bunch of flowers, and just keep doing this until you get the 10% discount. Now for some people, the Dwarven enhancement is going to be incredibly powerful. Take the cinder spine that we got from the volcanic island cave. When we go to upgrade this, we get a massive boost to its knockdown power. We still also get strength and magic increases, but if you're going for a knockdown build, the upgrades to this knockdown power are going to be insane. Now for this Dwarven smithing, a lot of the upgrades you're going to be using are also on that volcanic island, so if you're out there, you might want to farm up foaming slime and dark scales. Now there is one more shop that you're going to want to head to get a massive boost. If you go through Back Batal, head through the Dye District, and then follow this path north, you can follow it along the beach. You're going to pass through this road until you get to the Riftstone of Remembrance. There's going to be a couple items that you can collect, as well as 5 Wyrmfire crystals right here, but what we're here for is the Dragon Forged NPC. You can pick up fairy stones here in exchange for Wyrmfire crystals. You can get another port crystal here, as well as an unmaking arrow if you want to be able to one-shot the Sphinx earlier in the game. But we can also enhance equipment here. Now the great thing about Wyrmfire enhancement is it's a style of smithing that uses Wyrmfire crystals to further improve equipment, enhance 3 ranks or more. You'll notice if we were trying to enhance the Frame blades, we actually can't, but we do have the Dead Ringer here, which is going to cut the weight in half of whatever item it is, and give a drastic improvement to strength and magic. Now each of these enhancements is going to cost 15 Wyrmfire crystals, but it is most certainly worth doing. So taking the weapons that you purchase from the new NPC, upgrading them and taking them over to the Wyrmfire enhancement can give you a massive boost to your character and pawn's power. Now to be able to farm up these Wyrmfire crystals, that means you will have to be defeating drakes and dragons throughout the world. You can find these in various locations. I believe it takes 14 plus days for dragons to respawn in the world, but they are farmable just like everything else. Now there are a few places to be able to farm these dragons up. One dragon spawns just north of Harv Village at the northern Harv Ruins. In between the Putrid Cave and the Glimmercoal Cavern, there's going to be another spawn point right here. If you go north of the checkpoint Rest Town to the Ancient Battleground, you can find another dragon there. Now if we head south into the Batali region, we can head to the Shutram Falls waterfall, where there's going to be another dragon that potentially hangs out around here. If there isn't a dragon there, you can head south, and you're going to head over to where the Reverend Shrine is, and there should be another dragon spawn right in this location as well. Next, if you head all the way south to the area where you can find Medusa, you can climb to the top of Dragon's Breath Tower, where you're going to be able to encounter another dragon. Then the final dragon spawn is actually going to be north of the Volcanic Island camp. It's going to be in this area right here. Now, all of those dragons are respawnable, and there's plenty of other random encounters that you'll find throughout the game as well. But when you are hunting dragons, be careful of Dragon's Plague on your pawns. I will have another video very soon on Dragon's Plague, how to avoid it, and how to deal with it. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.